Is Ange the right man for you, Nottingham Forest fans? Let's speak to George, who's a Forest fan. He's not happy with the news, are you, George?
Oh, no. Morning, George.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Jeff. How are you doing?
Well, mate. You might not be happy with it, George, but surely it's not a massive surprise, is it?
I think it's just more the fact that I'm worried that we're going to go down the West Ham route of our hierarchy saying that we want to play this free-flow and attacking football when it's quite clear our team is set up for counter-attacking kind of play. And don't get me wrong, Nuno's been an absolute tool in saying what he said and everything like that. But I feel like in realistic terms, he's unemployed. He'll come into the job. And I think, to be fair, I was nervous about Nuno at first and look what job he's done. So I'm not going to complain too much. But I just feel like there's other managers out there that are more suitable, maybe like a Marco Silva or someone like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a question of whether at this stage the owner's going to be willing to pay what would be a significant amount of compensation when someone like Ange is there, waiting, ready to go, could be in place before the next game against Arsenal.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like to say, it's just more the fact that I feel like we're going from one extreme to another in terms of style of football. And I don't want us to be in a situation like West Ham have been or other teams where we've got this ambitious vision of playing free-flow and attacking football when for the past few years our team's been really set up on counter-attacking. And it's not like we haven't been playing bad football. Everyone was so impressed with us last year.
Of course.
So it's not like we think the place out or anything. We played good football. And I think given time, Ange will probably do a good job. I just worry of how stubborn he was at Spurs. It was borderline unhealthy with how stubborn he was at Spurs. So I'm just worried that will kind of lag into Forest and not let us have as good a season as what we could potentially have.
George, thank you very much.
Thanks for the call, George.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Let's hear from some Forest fans, shall we? Let's head to the phone lines right now. Samaya is a Forest fan. Good morning, Samaya.
Hi, Samaya.
And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Oh, it's okay, it's fine. It's Samia, but it doesn't matter.
Samia, okay.
Yeah,
thank you,
fine.
Samia.
That's what I said. I actually said it was Samia. How are you feeling this morning,
okay.
Samia? How are you this morning? What are you thinking?
I don't want Ange. I think it's a big mistake, if I'm being honest. But I feel a bit gutted, to be honest with you. It wasn't what I thought at the beginning of the season was going to happen. You know, we're in such a good place. We're in Europe. You know, it's been so long since we've been in Europe. We're in Europe, you know. We had a fantastic season last season, but I could just tell from Nuno's demeanour and his kind of the things he was saying, even before we kicked a ball, you know, that Sky Sports kind of interview saying the squad wasn't ready. Something felt off and it didn't feel right with him because he was never like that last season. So I don't know what's going to happen. I hope it's not a mistake getting rid of him. He's fun. To me, he's fantastic. I felt the same when Cooper left, so I'm hoping I'm wrong, but he's not going to be short of offers, but I think that, you know, with the press conference and what he said about our owner, and our owner doesn't do sentiment, you know, it's a business at the end of the day, it's the money that he's feeding into the club. So for me, the writing was on the wall, and I kind of, you know, we should be happy as Forest fans. We're in Europe, it should be an exciting time, and it's not been, it's just been plagued with this uncertainty and stress of what's going to happen with Nuno, and obviously now we know. So,
but Samia, then does it change your view of Mr. Marinakis?
Do you know what? We've been in the wilderness, Jeff, for so many years, languishing in the Championship, you know, and you know we've come up. It doesn't, because he's got everything right so far. I'm not sure about Ange. This is the first time where I'm questioning a little bit. Has this been kind of in the pipeline for a while? Did Nuno have an inkling before that press conference, and and that's why, you know, he's kind of come out and said these things? It doesn't change my view on him. You know, he's put a lot of money into the club. It's his money at the end of the day. And obviously, if things aren't right behind the scenes, how can they work together then? You know, obviously something's gone off, something drastic's gone off for this to happen. So, you know, we'd heard that there was going to be a meeting between, you know, Mr. Marinakis, Edu and Nuno. Whether that happened, I don't know. You know, Nuno did say after the West Ham game that they were going to meet. The West Ham performance and how we lost that game didn't really help his cause, I don't think, either. So
Samir, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
Hope
Samir.
it works out well.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Text here saying there is a world where Forest finish 17th
And
win the Europa League. Yeah. There is.
Of course they could.
Cameron's a Forest fan. Morning, Cameron.
Good morning.
Cameron,
Hello.
what do you make of it all?
Well, it's upsetting, really. He's an absolute clown. Like, his football managerial record isn't good. Nuno, it was sort of, written on the wall a bit. He is a bit stubborn with his subs and his decisions in games to change it up. So I'm not actually that upset that he's gone. He's done massive things for Forest, but to think Ange Postecoglou is the next best move for Forest, I can't wrap my head around it. He's arrogant. He's thin-skinned. When he first come to the Prem, he was saying all these things, and we thought, wow, it's refreshing. And then it got a bit boring, and he just kept saying the same things. He's going at it with his own fans. The only thing I can think is he's not going to last too long, and then we'll be able to move on again.
Who would you take then, mate, yourself? Who would your first choice be?
Mourinho. Even if it's just to the end of the season, offer him a nice bonus for the winning the Europa League, and it'd be cinema, him and Marinakis, and, we'd carry on being the most entertaining club in the league.
Look, the very best of luck to you, mate. Hope it works out for you.
Thanks, Cameron.
Thanks.
Glenn's a Forest fan. He said, it'd be interesting to ask all these Forest fans saying no to Ange, whether they originally said yes to Nuno. I remember everyone saying the same thing when Steve Cooper left. And now they all love Nuno. Whoever they appoint, we should just get behind them.
That's true.
Come on, you Reds. Yeah, and I completely accept that, Glenn. But you can understand with the position that he's left you in, there would be some scepticism, bearing in mind what happened to Ange at Tottenham in terms of the Premier League, not in Europe, of course. They won the Europa League.
I understand that concept, but I think he's 100% right. I think fans will always be, and so they should be, entitled to their opinion, have their own view. But once Marinakis makes the decision of the new boss, then you get behind them.
Yeah, completely. Matt in Nottingham says that, actually. He says, full trust in Marinakis. It is what it is, and everything happens for a reason. And I think, as you've said in particular, but right throughout, it's been blindingly obvious that once Nuno spoke out, this was going to happen. There was no way back.
No. And he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he knew that, as I said earlier, Jeff, you're not taking on that owner and winning. You are not taking him on because you can tell right now what kind of owner he is. And I can understand the Forest fans being very appreciative because he's probably given them the best time, and certainly in recent years.
Yeah.
But one thing is, he's commanding. He'll dictate what he wants for the club. I'm saying he won't listen. Of course, he'll listen to other people, but the biggest factor is he will make his own mind up, and he will have the final say.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.